Hello everybody. Today we are going to read the chapter The Sound of Music, and the author is Deborah Cowley. The chapter is divided into two parts. The first part that we are going to read today is Evelyn Glanny listening to sound without hearing it. Here we all get confused. How can anyone listen to sound without hearing? So here now we are going to discuss how Evelyn Glanny was able to listen to sound even though she could not hear. Before we read the chapter, God may have taken her hearing, but He has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any one of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. The writer wants to say that even though Evelyn has lost her hearing power, God has given her extraordinary power. That means God has compensated her with extraordinary abilities, qualities. That is the sense of feeling. She could feel anything better than any normal person and could express music more beautifully than anyone else. Now, let's read the chapter, and you should be very attentive, careful. Rush hour crowds jostle for position on the underground train platform. A slight girl, looking younger than her 17 years, was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibration of the approaching train. Now here, rush hour jostle. Jostle means rush, pushing each other. When a train arrives at the railway station platform, the people push each other either to get down from the train or to board the train. And slight girl, that means a small girl. She was very younger than her age. That means she looked comparatively very younger than her age, 17 years age. She was nervous and excited when she felt the vibration of the approaching train. Whenever we are at the railway station platform, before the arrival of the train, when the train arrives at the platform, we can feel the vibration, and it indicates that the train is arriving. The same, she could also feel the vibration of the train, and she got very excited because she was going to board the train for her destination. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London, and daunting enough for any teenager fresh from a Scottish farm. So she was going to London at the Royal Academy of Music, and she belongs to Scotland, a country which had lots of farms, lots of countrysides. So she was very nervous because she was moving from a small country to a very big country like London. And daunting here means frightening. She was afraid. But this aspiring musician means a person who is interested in becoming a musician, faced a bigger challenge than most. Now, Evelyn, she was going to face a lot of challenges at the Royal Academy of London. Why? She was profoundly deaf. She was deaf. There would be many participants there at the Royal Academy of Music in London, but she was deaf, so she was going to face a lot of challenges compared to the other participants. Evelyn Glanny's loss of hearing had been gradual. That means her loss had been gradual. Slowly, she was losing the power of her power of hearing. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8 years old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. Her mother recollects an incident. She says that when she was 8 years old, one day she was waiting to play the piano. They called her name and she didn't move. Her name was repeatedly being called, but she did not respond. That means she was unable to hear the sound. She was unable to hear. So that was the first sign that indicated that she was losing her hearing power. I suddenly realized that she hadn't heard, says Isabel Glennie, her mother. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from her friends and teachers. Conceal means hide. In the beginning, she managed to hide the loss of her hearing power from her friends and teachers. But it was gradual. She was losing the power of hearing. And the result was, by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated and her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a specialist. Her performance was deteriorating, that means decreasing. Her performance was being affected. Her marks was also affected. And then the headmistress called her parents and advised them that she should be taken to a specialist so that she can be treated. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired. And when she was taken to the doctor, it was clear that, after examining, it was clear that her hearing power was weakened. Almost, she had lost her hearing power. As a result of gradual nerve damage, they were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids, and then the doctor advised that Evelyn should be fitted with hearing aid, that is aid that is put near about the ear, and that it receives the sound, and that person is able to hear the sound clearly. And also sent to a school for the deaf. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired. Everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. And when Evelyn came to know that she was going to be fitted with hearing aids, and then also that she should be admitted to the school of deaf, at once she felt that her future everything was black. That means her future was black. Black means uncertain. If she would not receive education, she was not going to be successful. She was not going to achieve anything in her life. But Evelyn was not going to give up. She was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. So she had decided that she was going to pursue music, and she was not going to give up very easily. One day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone and decided that she wanted to play. So one day she saw a girl playing a xylophone. A xylophone is a musical instrument with a row of wooden bars of different shapes, different length. So one day when she saw a girl playing a xylophone, so at the same time she made up her mind that she also wanted to play that instrument. One day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential. He began by turning two large drums of different notes. So when she decided to learn xylophone, Ron Forbes, the percussionist, he spotted her talent. He spotted her talent where other teachers discouraged her because they knew that she could not do anything in music because she was deaf. And hearing power plays an important role if you want to learn music. So the teacher discouraged her. But Ron Forbes, the percussionist, he spotted her talent. And when he saw her determination, he felt that talent needs to be brought out from her. He began by tuning two large drums of different notes. So he bought two drums and he playing two different notes on both the drums. Don't listen through your ears, he would say. Try to sense it through other way. So he instructed her that she should not try to hear the sound that were produced on the two drums. Two different sounds were produced. She should not try to listen it through her ear. Instead, she should try to hear it through some different sense. Says Evelyn, suddenly I realized that I could feel the higher drum from the waist up and the lower one from the waist down. At the same time, Evelyn says that when she tried her best, she says that she was able to hear the sound that was coming from the bigger drum above her waist, and the sound that was produced by the small drum, she was able to hear just below the waist. That means the echo of the sound, she was able to hear everywhere on her body. Forbes repeated the exercise. That means when he felt that she was able to feel the vibration of the sound, that exercise, that procedure was repeated again and again. And soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. So after regular practice, she was able to realize that she could feel different sound all over through her body. The echoing of the sound she could feel all over her body. I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibrations. She says that after regular practice, she was able to open her mind and body to the sound, the vibration that is produced by the sound. She was able to experience all over her body. For example, we can take whenever we listen to music. Listen any music in our home, and when the woofer is there, and when we place our hand before the speaker, we can feel the vibration of the sound on our hand through the woofer. The rest was sheer determination and hard work. After that, she did not look back. There was sheer determination was there, hard work was there. She invested a lot of hard work and determination in practicing music. She never looked back from the point onwards. She toured to the United Kingdoms with orchestra, and by the time she was 16, so she did not have a back look. She was becoming successful. She was becoming adept in her in music. She was able to sense music. She was able to feel the vibrations of the sound. Then she also joined a group of orchestra. Orchestra means group of people. They sing in group. The music is there. Different types of musical instruments are there. And by the time she was 16, she had decided to make her life in music. And when she turned 16, up to that, she had decided that she was going to make her career in music. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music. Audition means when you write when you want to qualify for an admission in a college or a school, you have to write test, and your ability is tested through that test. And when you pass, you are selected for the particular school or class. So audition means a short performance where the director of that particular institute and other persons will be there, and they would give you a small role to perform or a musical instrument to play, and that will justify whether you will be able to, whether you are suitable for that, suitable for admission or not, or to qualify for the next round. So she went to Royal Academy of Music to give audition, and scored one of the highest marks in the history of the academy. And when she performed, being deaf, she broke the previous record. That means she scored the highest mark in the history of Royal Academy of Music in London. Before her, nobody had scored the particular mark that she scored during the audition. She gradually moved from the orchestral work to the solo performance. First, she used to perform in the orchestra. Then she started, as her talent increased in music, she started giving solo performances. At the end of her 3 years course, she had captured most of the top awards. So at the Royal Academy of Music, she had 3 years course, and during that period, she was able to capture most of the awards, all the top awards. And for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. That means whatever awards, recognition, name, fame she had achieved, she was not going to achieve at it. She was not going to take it that she had done something great, but she want to accept it instead that she had given all her credit to hard work and goal. If you have a goal, and when you work hard for it, definitely you are going to get successful. Definitely you are going to achieve it. So she gives all her credit to hard work and her goal. If you work hard and know what you are going, where you are going, you will get there. So what she only says that the key to every success is only hard work and determination. And she got right to the top. The world most sought after multi percussionist with a mastery of some 1,000 instruments and Hatic International Schedule. Hatic International Schedule meant that was she was giving a solo performance throughout the country, throughout the world. And she had mastered to play more than 100,000 musical instruments. It is intriguing to watch evening functions so effortlessly without hearing. And the author says that it is very fascinating that when you go to watch a particular person performing on the stage with musical instrument, and though that particular person is not able to hear, so it is a very rare experience to watch such people performing on the stage. In our 2-hour discussion, she never missed a word. The author says that she had interviewed Evelyn, and during the interview session, whatever question was put before Evelyn, she did not miss even a single word. Men with bushy beards give me trouble, she laughed. And she laughed during the interview. She told the author, the writer, that the people who have long beards, bushy beard, they gave trouble. That means trouble here means that she is unable to read the lip movements of that particular person. Not only the lip movements, she also reads the facial expressions and the expressions that are produced by the eyes. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish still, a way of talking. The tone that she used to speak was still there in her. That means the Scottish tone, the way of speaking, the manner. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11. So she says that up to 11 years of old, she was able to hear it clearly. She says, but that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and mastered basic Japanese. But even though it is not clear that how she managed to learn French and Japanese, it is not clear. As for music, she explains, and for music, she says that it pours in through every part of my body. And she says that she has devoted all her life to music. And it pours through every part of her body. It tingles in my skin. It is everywhere in her body, in each and every part of her body, even in the skin. My cheekbones and even my hair, everywhere, even her cheekbones, eyes, hair, everywhere there is music, she says. And every part of her body can feel the vibration of the sound, the vibration of the instrument, the sound that is produced by the musical instruments. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing by the stick into her fingertips. And when she plays the xylophone to the stick, she can feel that the sound that is transferred through the stick through her fingertips. She can feel the music here in her fingertips. By leaning against the drum, she can feel the resonances, the echo of sound. And when she would be playing the drum, she would lean over the drum. And the sound that is produced by the drum, she can feel all over her body. The echo of the sound can be felt, flowing into her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibration passes through her bare feet up her legs. So, wooden platform, that means that the surface is laid with wood. And when she would be performing on a wooden platform, what she would do, she would remove her shoes. And when the musical instrument would be played, she would feel the vibration of the sound of the music produced by the musical instrument through her bare foot, everywhere. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audiences. And everybody, when audience comes to know that Evelyn, a particular person or a musician who cannot hear, she is deaf, and when she is playing instruments, she is going to perform, people become curious to listen to her. In 1991, she was presented with Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award. So in 1991, she was awarded with one of the very prestigious award, that is Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award. Says master percussionist James Blake, God may have taken her hearing but has given her back something extraordinary. So James Blake, a master percussionist, says that God has taken her hearing power but has compensated with extraordinary qualities, that she can sense music on every part of her body. What we hear, she feels. What we hear through her ear, but Evelyn feels that sounds all over her body, far more deeply than any of us. We cannot feel music all over our body. We can just hear. We can only feel the echo of sound sometimes, but she can feel every sound that is produced by the musical instrument all over her body, much better than us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully, and she can express music more beautifully compared to us. Evelyn confesses that she is something workaholic. Now, so she confesses that she is workaholic. I have just got to work. That means cannot stop working. I have just got to work, often harder than classical musician, and she always tells herself that she should keep on working. She should keep on working, and she had to work harder and harder than the classical musicians. But the rewards are enormous. Rewards are enormous only when you are determined to work hard. Only when you focus on your goal. And there is no shortcut for success. Only the key is to work hard. So if you work hard, you will say that the rewards are enormous. She worked hard. She got name, fame, prestigious awards only because of her hard work. Apart from the regular concerts, Evelyn also gives free concerts in prison and hospital. So she moves throughout the world giving concerts, but she also gives concerts in hospitals and prisons. That means free concerts. She does not charge for them. She also gives high priority to classes for the young musicians. And then she also gives classes to the young musicians. She guides them. And Richlin of the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. So, and Richlin, she says that Evelyn is an inspiration for the deaf children. They can, when they see the name and fame of Richlin, they get inspiration from her. They feel that if she could do it, why they can't? They cannot do it. They can also show their talent in different fields. So she is a great inspiration for the deaf children. And Richlin, they see that there is nowhere they cannot go. So she provides inspiration to millions. If she can do it, everyone can do it. But for that, you need determination and willpower. Evelyn Glanny has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. The author says, she says that Evelyn has accomplished here means achieved. She has achieved much in her life. And the people twice her age could not do anything, could not get success. But even though she had a very young age, due to her hard work and determination, she achieved a lot of success in her life. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. And now, percussion, that means the musical instrument, tabla and all. Earlier, when in orchestra, the tabla and other musical instruments, percussion instruments, musical instruments, they were played at the back. But she bought them at the front. That means with the orchestra group, those particular percussion musical instruments, they were placed in the front and they were played. That means she bought, you can say, an identity to those musical instruments. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped. People who look at her say, if she can do it, I can. So she had given inspiration. She has been an inspiration to many people. And they say that if she can do it, why can't we? Even the normal people also. When a handicapped person can do it, a person who is physically challenged, that means she could not hear, even then she could master all the musical instrument, then why they can't do? So if she can do, we can also do, they say. If she can do it, I can. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions. Enormous pleasure to millions. The people who have been fortunate enough, who have seen her performing on the stage, who have listened to her music, they have received pleasure. They are very fortunate that they have managed to watch her playing the different musical instruments. Thank you.